Today I want to talk all about the things that we're calling our things that didn't work in our homeschool. Mistakes we may have made, or just like things along the way that we've just discovered just do not work, or why they didn't work. Let's talk about it. This is a collab with Davine from Calm in the Chaos and Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool. So I'm going to link their channels in the description and the playlist with all the other moms participating. If you're new here, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button down below and the bell to notify you of future videos of mine. I am Nikki. I am a homeschool mom to an only child going into the 5th grade. Here I do a ton of curriculum and updates and vlogs and anything homeschool mom life. So I would love for you to tag along and subscribe. And let's just talk about our fails, our mistakes. What? Do we have those? Like, I think as every homeschool parent who tackles homeschooling, we all have our mistakes. We all have our flops, and it's okay because that is what makes us learn. That is what makes us grow as an individual, but also as a homeschool and a homeschool mom. My number one thing is replicating public school into our homeschool. I think that is the number one most common thing that people try to do when we jump on the homeschool train, is because it's easy, especially if you were a child who went to public school, to think that it has to look like that to learn. And I got news for you. It doesn't. It does not. You could literally have a table, your kitchen table, your dining room table, your books, a pencil and paper, and that is what homeschool looks like to you. It could look like going on a nature walk. It could look like a co-op. It could look like so many other ways in which your homeschool is yours, but replicating that classroom, honestly, it's just a waste of money. We don't need half those things. We don't need the really big whiteboards and stuff like that, unless you are planning to utilize those things. I have a whiteboard, and I could probably count on my hand the number of times I actually use it. I used to use it a lot more when she was younger. But as we get older, I don't have to have it. There are other things that you can use in replace of that. So trying to replicate it isn't necessarily necessary. But a better way to approach that, if you have this like stuck mindset on doing that, is to embrace the freedom and just know that you can create your school to look however you want it to look. Tailor your child's learning to your child. Maybe they're not a visual learner, so why do we need all these visuals posted in our classroom or our school area, wherever our learning is taking place? Number 2, overplanning, overscheduling. I think we can all be guilty of this and still have it be a consistent struggle. I overplan a lot, and I am good because I use Homeschool Planet, and so my digital planner has everything marked in there. But I'm talking about over planning activities, over planning things out of the house. Sometimes I just get in I get in these like grooves and moments where I'm like, we have to be out, we have to go do, and then we burn out. And then I'm like, oh my God, we have to quit all the things because it's that intense and crazy. And then we overschedule schoolwork. We can have really fun, like I just printed and showed in my vlog, like we could have really fun unit studies to do, and we could do all of them, and we can do math, and we can do all the subjects, and then you're like, excuse me, like it's 2 o'clock. Like we've just literally like used up our whole day. And sometimes it works and sometimes it's just not necessary. We don't need to do all the things. So I know we can get into a place where we think we're not getting enough, we're not doing enough, we're not teaching them enough. And I think it's really important to take a step back and evaluate, what is my child learning? What are we doing? And figure out if there's a gap in there that we could fill, or if we're just doing enough, because I guarantee you, you're likely doing enough. Let's think about what they're doing and how much time is wasted and spent in public school for them to just wait on other students when they could be learning something else or doing something else at the time. So, number 3, not trusting yourself. This kind of plays into the same thing. You are your child's mother, father. If you think of it as you've gotten your child to a certain point, I'm here to tell you, I'm not a teacher. I have been teaching myself with her along the way. I don't know everything. I don't expect to know everything. And if you think about it, a teacher goes to school and they don't know everything. They create their syllabuses and they create like their lessons, but it doesn't mean that they went to school because they know everything. They went to school to learn how to teach everything, but they don't necessarily know everything. So keep that in mind. I have actually thought about doing some research into utilizing some teaching skills that could help me and benefit me as a homeschool parent. But I think we just have to get in the mindset of like, you can teach your child. You can. And I am proof of that. I'm going into 5th grade with my kiddo and she's doing awesome. And that has come from just homeschool. If you're dedicated and you put in the work, it is possible. Number 4, focusing too much on gaps and not the growth. It is so easy to narrow your mindset and think about, my child like does not know anything in this subject, or my child does horrible in this area of math, and you try to like overcompensate by like piling on more and more because you want them to learn the topic, whatever, so much. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not always beneficial, and you should really change your perspective, your focus onto the growth in your homeschool. Sorry, I am reading off notes, so if you see me looking down, that is why. Number 5. I only have a few of these, I promise. Trying to stick with curriculum that isn't working. Oh my God, yes. Curriculum has to work for you and your child. Let me repeat that. The curriculum has to work for you and your child. I know you're thinking, well, why does it have to work for me? Because you're the one teaching it. You're the one that has to help and grade and go through these things. Like if you're frustrated because it's not working or you can't stand it, or even if it works a little bit for you, that you can make it work. But if you're just like, absolutely not, this is not aligned with my values, this is not aligned with how I want to teach, you're always going to be like really frustrated with that curriculum, and it's going to pour your energy into said child who you're teaching. So I like to really focus on trying to make it work in both places where the curriculum works for you and your child. You're not married to a certain curriculum just because you've been using it for 4 years, let's say, and you're just like, you're looking at other things and you're like, wow, that looks really good. You are allowed to pivot. You are allowed to switch curriculums and switch things up. You are not married to a curriculum, trust me. And worst case scenario, you could just go back, but try other things, see if something works better than what you're used to. Even if what you're doing works great and you just see something shiny and you're just like, oh, I just really want to try it. Like, try it. Next, I have expecting immediate results. I need to tell myself this all the time. Learning is a process. it is not something that happens overnight. It is not something that is easy for anyone, really. When you're learning a new thing, sometimes it gets, it's really easy for us to go, oh my God, I just taught it to you. Why are you not understanding the concept? And you get so like wrapped up in the fact that like you just taught it, so of course they should know. And you have to like back up, take a deep breath, and realize your child is different, and you are comparing to what maybe you see on the internet or something you experienced in school, or maybe that was your experience in school. You learned it and you learned it right away. But your child might not be that way, and she may need a different approach, a different learning style. Maybe your child has a different learning style, so you have to switch up how you're teaching it. Maybe they're visual, maybe they're kinesthetic. Try to tailor that and know that it's not just going to be this like miraculous result right away. Next, losing sight of relationship over education. Now, I can tell you this has definitely been a big part of why I went down the rabbit hole of like, what is education? Why do I need to teach my child X, Y, and Z when they're not going to need it? Well, that's the beauty of homeschool, is you can teach your child how you want to teach your child, and what, depending on the state that you live in and the laws and regulations that fall under your state. But that was me pushing writing on my child early on, because she was her own writer. Like, she wrote stories and she was capable of writing sentences, and she did well. But the formality of it, if you told her that she's going to be writing a paragraph today, she was in another world and she was not present. Like, she like despised the word or the formality of the words. Now, if I just told her to write a story, she's writing a paragraph. She just doesn't know it. Or she's writing a paragraph. She knows it, but it's not like a conscious thing to her. It's just naturally comes out. So it was just very interesting to me, because I got persuaded by everyone else and their kids. And I'm like, well, she should know how to do this by now. I went down the rabbit hole of like just thinking that my child should know how to do X, Y, and Z. Well, that kind of tore apart our relationship. It created a huge drift. We were constantly butting heads, and I had to suck it up and go, you know what? Like, I had a friend, she's no longer on YouTube, and if she's watching, thank you so much for this, because you've literally changed so much for me. But she once told me, she goes, she's still young. Take a step back. Like, you don't need to do this much writing this early on. Like, there's plenty of time for her to catch up. And that has saved our relationship. Honestly, our homeschool, like this year, because I did that, flowed so much better. Relationship over curriculum. Always remember that. Let's see. I'm trying to wrap this up. Okay, thinking you have to do it alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You don't have to be alone. Get your mom involved, get your dad involved, get your grandma involved, get your uncle involved, get the neighbor involved, get a co-op, get a friend group, create a friend group, go to events, go talk to other people. Like, this does not have to be a solo experience. This does not have to be a in your house experience. Expand your knowledge, expand your groups, expand everything. If you've ever heard it takes a village, well, that applies to homeschooling as well. It does take a village. Like, we are in we're not in a co-op anymore, but we are in several homeschool groups, and they have events and they have activities, and that is part of the whole picture. That is part of homeschooling. She learns just as much with that she does sitting down here in the homeschool space with me. So keep that in mind. Like, you do not have to do this alone. Reach out, find a friend, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, go on YouTube, find your people. Go into those Facebook groups and utilize the moms groups. I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, the moms groups are full of drama. They can be, yes. But I don't find that to be so much in the homeschool community. Could be wrong, could be where you live, but find your people, because it does take a village and you do not have to be alone. So those are just some basic things that were like mistakes in our homeschool. I hate to call them mistakes because I don't feel like it's a mistake. It didn't work. You learn from it. These are just like life steps that we've taken in our homeschool. And I feel like everyone does it, so you're not alone. But yeah, I hope you can learn from my mistakes, and go check out those other ladies down in the playlist down below, and I will see you in my next one.